What are the sort of the key elements that you look for when you, let's say somebody, somebody hires you to do like a lifestyle photo shoot? What goes through your mind? Like, well, what is the sort of key elements that you try to work out before you get into the shoot?
Well, one that took me many years to get more strict about is the time of day. So if I'm going into somebody's home, for example, that it doesn't matter too much, but I I really have I have a window of when I will shoot, and it's either very early in the morning or later in the afternoon and evening, and that's just for consistency. It's not because I'm obsessed with the golden hour or anything like that. All of my images don't have to look a certain way. It's fine if it's cloudy, etc. But putting myself in a situation where I have the most advantage and the best ability to capture what people already see on my website, that consistency is really important to me. So the first thing I really look for is what kind of light are we dealing with? Let's make sure it's not noon or 1 p.m. And then the other thing that I will look for is some kind of activity. So particularly with families and kids, I like to encourage them to have a snack or bake some cookies or go swimming in the pool or something that they can do at some point in the photo shoot. And it doesn't have to be big and fancy. It could just be taking out a deck of cards or something like that, but just having something so that people can relax and so that they get the images that they see on my website, and that I think that's really important for all photographers to remember, is that you're the one in charge and you're the one that they are hiring. And so whatever you're showing is what people are going to want. And if someone's getting in touch with something that like doesn't even reflect what you do, you can say like, hey, that's not going to work, or hey, if we do this, just so you know, it's going to be too bright, or whatever it is. So I really like to try and set myself up for success and consistency.
Now, you mentioned lighting. Do you only use natural light, or do you artificially light certain things?
Every now and then I'll artificially light stuff, but it's not super often. It depends on, if I'm in a home that's really dark and doesn't have a lot of light, then I might set up I actually have a video light that I like to use, because rather than a flash, it kind of keeps everyone at ease and they get used to sort of how that light is playing rather than just like flash, 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 But I do work with on-camera flash, and I do have, weddings, for larger portraits and stuff. I'll have a couple of umbrella stands or something, but I certainly emphasize natural light. And I think that's also just a personal decision. It's not that I'm not capable of shooting with the help of a lighting setup if I need it, but I personally really like, back to that narrative and that storytelling energy, I like to capture kind of things as they are. And I find a lot of beauty in that. And I find a lot of beauty in just how the light falls and not trying to manipulate it too much. So that's just a personal stylistic choice, I think.
So when you get booked for a lifestyle session, do you typically shoot at somebody's house, or do you find a location, or is it probably outdoors? How does that work?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix. So I offer mini sessions a couple times throughout the year as a way to sort of attract new clients and to help out folks that might be on a budget. And that's always just at like a park somewhere where people can come to a central location and meet me there, because the nature of mini sessions is that they come to you and you kind of knock them out one after the other. As far as my regular portrait clients, the majority of them I do at their home or somewhere like a beach or a park or somewhere, as I said, where there can be some kind of activity. Sometimes I've done stuff like going to the Minnesota State Fair, if people are familiar with that, or going to a baseball field or a baseball game, or going fishing, or, you can do just about anything. But for the majority of my clients, it's just at home, hanging out with, their pets, or just coloring with chalk on the sidewalk, whatever, stuff that people do from day to day. I do like to do, like with the younger kiddos, I think it's a lot of fun to do like bedtime routines. That's a fun one. So, snacks and bath time and story time and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's something, it can be anything. It can be you with your parents, you with your kiddos, you with your dog, whatever, or all of the above. But I think we're conditioned to think of photos as a special occasion thing. And certainly they are an investment, but I love to encourage my clients to just think about doing photos because you want to, and because every day of your life is special.
That's a really good point, because traditionally, people would have hired a photographer, for a wedding, a bar mitzvah, all these special occasions, or even like, the my uncle used to do that, the annual Christmas family photo,
Yes. Yes.
these kind of things. It's horrendous. Anyway, but you're right. Now it's, we have the ability to really capture all of those little moments that maybe at the time don't seem like they mean that much, because they're routine. The bath time thing is good. The bedtime routine is a really good example for that. It's like, it's a thing you do every day. But
Right.
once that's gone, then that's gone, and it's not going to come back. My daughter isn't going to be, she's not going to turn 14 all of a sudden and then go like, "Oh, Daddy, can you read me some stories?" Because
Hmm.
that's just not going to happen. She's
Yeah.
busy
Right.
looking at TikTok or something. I don't know.
No, I was just, I was thinking about my own photos. My favorite thing when I look at old photos, I don't know about you, but it's always the sort of set and setting and who's there and just like what we're wearing and all of those things that you get in a lifestyle shoot, if you're not trying to be overly posed about it, are the things that 10 years from now you're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, this is great," because that's always the stuff that we look at, like our outfits and our furniture and like the stuff that was on the counter, or just anything to date the photo is, for whatever reason in our human psyche, something that we gravitate towards and enjoy. And I think that being able to shoot in people's homes and in a place that's special to them just affords me the opportunity to take so many more photos like that, and also just encouraging people to just wear what they feel comfortable in, and just be themselves can be.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, then press here for the full episode in glorious Technicolor. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe.